I traveled over 7,000 miles to one of the most exciting cities in the world, Tokyo, Japan, to board Norwegian Spirit, the oldest ship in Norwegian's fleet, at the Tokyo International Cruise Terminal for a 10-day voyage all around Japan and South Korea. So, come on if you're ready. It's boarding day in Japan. Let's get this adventure started. Here we go now, officially on board Norwegian Spirit here in Tokyo. Just went to muster station. That was very easy. It's out here on the promenade where we just entered. You can see the security setup right there. And it was just right down there. So already done with muster station. The quickest I've ever done muster station, now entering the main lobby here. What a beautiful ship this is. This ship underwent a massive refurb, $100 million refurb back in about 5 years ago. So she may be an older ship, but she looks good as new here on the inside. So several things to note immediately here in the main atrium. A lot of things in here. Of course, this big screen TV. This is the hub with a lot of seating in here. And then the guest services and short excursions desk are right here. The internet cafe is right here. And then right back here is the Atrium Cafe, which is the location of the Starbucks. I haven't really looked up much about the Spirit in anticipation for this cruise, so I'm really excited to look because, as I mentioned, a $100 million complete transformation of this ship. As far as understood, they redid everything, and so I'm excited to see how Norwegian has taken an old ship, a smaller ship in their fleet, and made it like new. And this is Henry's Pub right here. You see this is like a traditional pub, so probably a good place to come and hang out in the evening, but I don't think we can go anywhere from here, so we're going to cut back to the atrium and see where we can wander and explore early here on this embarkation morning, just 11 o'clock here in Tokyo. So we're currently on deck 7. I figured that much out. We're going to walk down the main promenade here toward the aft of the ship. The first place we'll come to is Cagney's right here, the Cagney Steakhouse. Of course, this is like the premier specialty dining. And the cool thing about Norwegian and all their ships is they do offer a lot of specialty dining, and that is true here of Spirit. Again, while it's a smaller ship, it does have all the great amenities, all the fun, and all the great tasting restaurants. You get more when you sail with Norwegian. That's certainly true here on Norwegian Spirit. You can see they have it set up for dinner already, so you can get a good idea of what it'll look like. But a very cool venue, very classy venue, and actually where I'll be having dinner tonight. So excited about that. Continuing after, coming to the Stardust Theater, which I believe is the main theater on board. Kind of unusual for it to be in the aft of the ship versus the front, which is the case with most new cruise ships now. The theater's usually in the front, but they will be having a welcome aboard show tonight at 8 p.m. Take a step outside here to the promenade. I love a promenade, and one of the things I think I like the most about an older ship is these old, wider promenades. You just don't see them a lot like this anymore, but on older ships they typically have the wider promenades, usually right under the lifeboat deck. But a great shaded place to come and walk. I love to do morning laps, and this will be a perfect place to do that here on Spirit. But let's take a minute to appreciate where we are at today. Beautiful Tokyo, Japan, out here in Tokyo Bay. And this is really cool, really unique, because this is a new terminal. We'll see it again in a minute when we go over to the other side of the ship, and actually we'll go up and see a little bit, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it then. But I did mention a minute ago that it is early, and it's just 11:11 here in the morning. It's a Sunday morning here in Tokyo. I'm filming this on June 15th of 2025. We're embarking today on a 10-day cruise. We're leaving Tokyo. Later this afternoon, we'll be leaving Tokyo. We've got 10 stops on this cruise, so every day is a stop somewhere new. We're gonna go around the southeast coast of Japan, making several stops. And then our final 2 stops will actually be in South Korea. We're going to be going to Jeju Island and also Seoul, which is where we're going to end the cruise, and we'll have an overnight there at the end. So technically, I guess there's 9 ports or 8 unique ports. And before we get too far along in this vlog, I do want to say thank you to my friends at Norwegian who I've collaborated with. They provided a lot of amenities and things, a lot of dining and things I'll be able to utilize just to make my trip a little bit more special, so I can try a lot of things on the ship. I did pay for my own cruise, but they have provided me with many amenities on the cruise. So I want to say thank you to them. And in addition to some of my videos that you'll see here on my channel, also in the coming weeks, go check out Norwegian's channel, because I'm going to be creating videos for Norwegian Cruise Line. So go check out their YouTube channel and watch for those videos that will be exclusive to their channel. And I'm very excited to produce those and bring those to you. I left deck 7 and now came up to deck 12. This is the Garden Cafe. This is the main buffet here on board the Norwegian Spirit. So this is like the first stop for everyone as they get on the ship, want to come grab a bite to eat. Everything looks very nice, modern, and new here. It does look like a new cruise ship, which is really, really cool. So leaving the Garden Cafe, walking forward from there is the main pool deck. There are 4 hot tubs here. See, there's one in each corner, and then here's the main pool right here in the middle. A nice big screen back there with a stage where I'm sure they'll have some live music. And then plenty of seating out here on the open deck. Here's Waves Pool Bar right here. And then there's some tables over here too, also on the other side where you can bring your food from Garden Cafe and have a seat outdoors to enjoy that. And I know that there was seating on the aft out behind Garden Cafe too, so you can do the same thing back there. I did look at the deck plan and sort of see where some things were. This is the Spinnaker Observation Lounge, and I love how Norwegian does an observation lounge because they have them all the way forward on their ships, in the very front of the ship. And it's just a great place to come and get great views. Of course, you got floor to ceiling windows, you got plenty of tables. You can see Tokyo there, downtown Tokyo, or what we can see of it. It's a lot of it shrouded by the clouds. So far, this is really neat. I'm liking that because this is such a port intensive cruise, and it is in a area of the world that I love so much. And I've cruised once before in Japan on the Diamond Princess from Princess Cruises, but I really enjoyed Japan that first time, and I said ever since then I wanted to come back and do a longer cruise. So 10 days here on Norwegian Spirit, and it's cool to have such a small ship. These smaller ships have such a charm to them, and I think this is going to be the perfect ship for such an itinerary, a smaller ship, as we go all around Japan and to South Korea. Let me stop talking and let's go explore more of the Norwegian Spirit before we can head to our rooms. Usually the rooms aren't ready till 1:30. They did say that they would make an announcement and let everybody know. So probably in a couple hours we'll get to go to our room, and I'll get to get rid of my luggage that I'm lugging behind me. So back out here on the open deck, I came up one level from the pool deck, and here is the beer garden. Beer garden is an outdoor bar. But I wanted to come around here to the other side and show you this beautiful terminal here in Tokyo, Japan. This is the Tokyo International Cruise Port. And like I mentioned, it is new. I don't know how new, but it is fairly new. It's very accessible too. The Tokyo monorail actually runs right here, right beside it. Maybe a 15-minute walk, 10-minute walk if you're a quick walker, you can get there. But you can see this path that comes right here. I'll try to point to it. There, right there is a walkway. That actually takes you over to the Tokyo monorail. So if you want to get here via public transport, you can. No car is required, but a great place to embark on a cruise. And you can see we are really close. You can see downtown Tokyo right over there. So that's the cool thing about Norwegian sailing from Tokyo, is most of their cruises will leave from right here, the Tokyo International Cruise Terminal right here, right near downtown, so that you don't have to go all the way to Yokohama. That's where a lot of cruises leave from when they say they're leaving from Tokyo. It's actually the next town over. Really cool that Norwegian is leaving from right here. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, that looks cool, that looks exciting, he's in Japan. You could be in Japan too. If you've never experienced Japan, book it now. Get your passport if you don't have it. Come to Japan because it's incredible. I've been here 2 days, here just around in Tokyo doing some things before the cruise, and I love this country. I love Japan. I love South Korea too, been there before also. So if you've never cruised here before, y'all, what are you waiting for? Come and check out the Norwegian Spirit. Book a cruise over here in Japan. This is Spice H2O down here, with all the seating down here, the more plush seating. This is an adults only area. It is open to everybody. It's not exclusive. It's not like a Vibe Beach Club or anything, but Spice H2O is adults only. But I did want to show, if you can see, right about the middle of the screen over there, maybe not, right there, there's a plane landing. That's actually Haneda Airport. So if you are landing at Haneda Airport, just to give you an idea of how close you are to not only downtown Tokyo, which is again right behind us, but how close you are to the Tokyo International Cruise Terminal right here. So just wanted to give you a little data point there in case you are traveling here for a cruise, just how close you could be if you arrive into Haneda. Now, Narita Airport is a little bit further away, and I've actually never been there, so I can't give you too many tips on that other than Haneda's closer. Going to the elevator here. Oh, this is one of the cool Atrium elevators, so we'll have a view here. I'm going to pick a random, let's say we're going to deck 10. I have no idea where we're really going. Oh, this is neat. So we start to head down. I always think a glass elevator in an atrium is really cool, just to see what's going on down below you. Come down to deck 8, because there are a lot more things to see here. A lot like deck 7, where we saw that great promenade and Cagney's. You see that duplicated here. And right here, we have the teppanyaki and sushi bar specialty restaurant. We'll take a quick peek in here, see what this looks like. we'll be trying this out one day of the cruise. And then back here, you can see they have it set up, I believe, for the teppanyaki experience. Yeah, with a few tables right in here, which is cool. Speaking of dining, I just realized that I only made a couple dining reservations before the cruise, so I need to stop talking and actually sit down somewhere and make some dining reservations, because I had several places that I wanted to eat at, but I didn't book all of those. So typically how it will work with Norwegian is you can book ahead of time reservations. They open months in advance for the restaurants, but if they show that they're sold out before the cruise, not to worry. The day that you get on the ship, you can actually go on the app and make reservations for dining, additional reservations that you might not have been able to make before the cruise. So that's what you need to do. That's what I need to do. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to pause and try to make my dining reservation. So we'll continue our exploring of Deck 8 here in just a minute. I also meant to mention in here, this is also the location of Silk. Silk is the Asian eatery in this same location. So this is Silk, this is also the sushi, and this is the teppanyaki back in the back. And I'll be going to all those, so look for more information about each of those in future content to come from here on the Spirit on my channel. So here on Deck 8, back in the main atrium, you can see they do have some live music going down below right now. And this is where the shops are. You can see they're closed off right now, but this is the location of the shops. There's also a bar over here. Oh, this is an interesting little place to sit right here. You can see this huge window. This is actually where we entered the ship, right back down there on Deck 7. You can see the gangway. But how cool would it be to sit right here in one of these seats right here, have a drink while you look out this big window and watch the sea or see the port that you're in that day. Oh, this is Magnum Champagne and Wine Bar. That's what this is called right here before we walk past it too quickly. More shops over there on the other side of the atrium. But headed forward here on Deck 8 is the art gallery. Some more shops, some perfumes and things in there. And then the photo gallery here in the front. All right, so now on Deck 7 in the forward of the ship, came down one level from where we just were. Here's the casino. And this is a nice big casino. And this is fairly large with the nice big ceilings. You don't see casinos like this very often on cruise ships. I mean, this looks like you're in a Vegas casino almost. This is crazy. Very unique. We're walking all the way through the casino, all the way forward. We're going to come to the Social Comedy and Nightclub, which is also doubling as the restaurant reservations desk here on embarkation day. So if there are any restaurants that you might want to make reservations for, you can do that here. I actually was able to make mine on the app, but if you need more assistance, you can do that here. And then here is the Social Club Comedy, all the way forward here on Deck 7. This is a venue that looks very familiar because this is on a lot of Norwegian ships, a lot of their newer ships. And again, that's the cool thing of the Spirit. An older ship, one of their oldest ships, but yet they've brought these new concepts, these new spaces, these new ideas to the older ship through that $100 million refurbishment. So really neat to see a social comedy club here on board. And I'm excited for some comedy because that's always one of my most favorite activities on board a cruise. And we'll enter the local. The local is a 24/7 eatery on board the ship. You can see real quick the menu right here of all the different things that they have, but it's mostly 24/7. I think they might close for a portion of the night, but they have sandwiches and burgers. They have all sorts of different appetizers, wings, salads, and then they have breakfast in the mornings. But it is all included in your cruise fare. They're actually having lunch in one of the main dining rooms. This is windows, which is really cool because typically on embarkation day, you're relegated only to the buffet. So nice that they have this open for an embarkation day lunch. So when it's now 2:05 p.m. and they're not ready with their rooms yet, which is actually kind of late. I thought it'd be around 1:30. It's typically when it is, when cruise lines have rooms ready, but not so here, which has made the ship quite busy. I mean, all the public areas that I've tried to go to, there's just swarmed with people. I'm carrying around my luggage here. I always do carry on and bring my own stuff on the ship, so just been carrying that around. So hopefully soon we'll get to go check out the room, and you'll know when we do because I will take you with me and we'll take a look at the room that I'm going to have this cruise. I did want to mention that the lunch that I had in Windows, the main dining room, it was a good lunch. I had a Caesar salad, which was good and I enjoyed. And then there was quite a long wait though. The service was very slow in there, and there was quite a lengthy wait between the appetizer and getting my actual entree. But I had a Philly cheesesteak, which was pretty good. Enjoyed that, and then went and sat in the main atrium, had a Starbucks, there at the Atrium Cafe, and then actually went up to the spa and did a little spa tour up there. They took me around and showed me some of the treatments that they offer at the Mandara Spa here on board. And now I've actually come out to Spice H2O, which I told you just a minute ago is the adults only area, and I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you a little bit of that. So there is a pool back here that folks can use. There's also a lot of seating, a lot of like beach chairs. These are very padded though, I will say that. So these are a little bit better quality. See the wicker chairs than what you would get probably on the pool deck. So that's nice. And like I said, right here on the very back of the ship, you see a lot of people up here. That's the great outdoors up there. Literally, that's what it's called. It's a bar up there. You can't see it from here. But then they got these like stadium style like seating. That's just where folks can sit and eat their lunch from the Garden Cafe, because the Garden Cafe is just up there inside of those doors. There's also the Spice H2O bar back here. So if you're going to come and relax back here at Spice H2O, you can grab a beverage to enjoy while you do that. But just wanted to show you where I'm hanging out here for a little bit, hoping that they call for our rooms available here pretty soon. Okay, so I actually just came on about 2:10, so 5 minutes after I talked to you a minute ago, and said that they're calling them by deck, and they just called deck 11 already. So we'll see. I'm on deck 6, so we'll see when they get to deck 6. Fingers crossed that it's soon, but we're being patient, right? We're on vacation, and just hanging out here in Spice H2O and enjoying the ambiance of this it's very humid today in Tokyo. This is an inside stateroom. It's a solo inside, because if you've watched my videos before, you've heard me talk about what a great job Norwegian does by its solo cruisers, in that it provides staterooms in all categories, inside, ocean view, and balcony, just for solo cruisers, and that usually means that you don't have to pay a solo supplement. So this is my stateroom for the next 10 days. It's an inside stateroom, and it looks great. Here is the bed. Of course, 2 beds put together. You can have this if maybe you're not a solo cruiser. You know, you can have them where they'll have the table in the middle and a bed over here and a bed over here if you're traveling with a friend or something. There's also a pull-down bed in here, which of course we don't need because it's just me. There's a TV over here on the wall. A smaller TV, but a TV nonetheless. And then there is a chair in the room here. Nice little fruit and things from my friends at Norwegian. So thank you for that. And then back here we have the closets. Let's look real quick. Do a very quick room tour. And I'll be talking about this room and all the Norwegian solo room options in a future video, so be looking for that. But just wanted to show you real quick sort of what you can expect. Now there is a tea kettle in here. People ask that question a lot, like, is there usually a tea kettle? There's usually not. I don't know if this is because we're selling in Japan or something, but there is one here on the Spirit, which is nice. A safe, the standard safe like what you would normally have. A selection of waters here. And then down below there is a fridge for you to use. And then a lot of pull-out storage here. There's a hair dryer, blow dryer. We'll take a look at the bathroom here. And again, it's nice to see that everything on the ship, the staterooms, just everywhere around the ship has been remodeled freshly in the past 5 years. That's very nice. But nice bathroom, nice spacious bathroom. Your sink over here. Of course, your hand soap, and also coming over to the shower. Nice spacious shower with glass. No shower curtains here, it's glass. It's a frosted glass too. But a nice big shower will get in it. You can see also your shampoo and body wash are included in here. There's this line here which you can hang laundry on, but we'll let that go in. There we go. And then the shower head, which is adjustable. We can move this up or down or take that off. So yeah, this is the room, my home for the next 10 days. Oh, and then most important is looking at the climate control. This looks like something that's more original with the ship, this climate control, but hopefully the air is still very good. And then I'm gonna hit quick cool because I love it to be, if you watch my channel, you know I like it to be very cool in my room. So we'll hit that button, and yeah. This is the stateroom. Just wanted to show you. Also wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the embarkation process here at the Tokyo International Cruise Terminal. So I did arrive just before 11 o'clock, I think. My actual check-in time, your check-in time you will pick during the check-in process, which you can do online about 3 weeks before you're sailing. I picked the earliest one available, which was 11 to 11:30. However, they weren't checking those whenever I got here because there were very few people here. And I walked right into the terminal building, went up to floor 3, which is where the check-in process started. and never stopped walking. In fact, they just pointed me to the check-in desk. They gave me my room key that I'll use for the week. That's of course the key that you'll use to make onboard purchases and things. Now, Norwegian does this a little bit different than a lot of the other cruise line. They actually give you your room key, your room card at check-in. So you're going to have that when you board the ship and actually use it to board the ship. I know a lot of other cruise lines now post those outside your room. So when you go to your room for the first time, like we just did, you would grab it there to unlock the door and have it the rest of the cruise. Not so with Norwegian. As soon as I checked in, got my key, I went and sat down, and they were already boarding the ship. So I waited like 2 minutes, sat down before they called me up to board the ship. Things are a little bit different here in Tokyo. You know, normally you would go through security first when you first enter the terminal building. However, it wasn't until we were on our way to board the ship after we had checked in when they ran us through security. That was the last thing we did before we got on the ship. So very quick, very easy, very convenient. So a great boarding process. And now we're here. We're officially on a cruise. We've done our muster station. That was the first thing they had us do when we boarded the ship, was to walk to our muster station. Mine was right there where we were boarding. They looked at my card and told me I was good to go. So we are officially on a cruise on board Norwegian Spirit. And I'm so excited to be back in Japan, so excited to be back on Norwegian, and I'm so excited that you're journeying along with me. So if you've not already, go down below and hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna have a lot more videos to come on the channel here from Norwegian Spirit. We got more to come in this video. I'm not done yet. I just wanted to say that. So yeah, I'm gonna unpack and settle in the room here, and then I'll catch you in a bit and see what we get up to as embarkation day continues here in Tokyo. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon now. We're about 45 minutes away from scheduled departure, and we'll certainly be out here watching as that takes place. I see a lot of the port operations wrapping up, though. I think all the trucks bringing supplies and stuff, and they're all gone now. So we should be ready to go here in just a bit, but I did want to show you. You can actually see downtown Tokyo now. The clouds have vanished. At least most of the clouds have vanished for a little while. They actually have some sun out. Well, what a great sail away from Tokyo that was. And what a fantastic send-off. They actually had a band come out and perform some songs for us as we were preparing to depart, and then actually while we were departing, which was very cool. That's one of the cool things about Japan, just knowing what I know about it from being here last time. They always have some sort of celebration at each port, which is really cool. So enjoyed that, enjoyed the sail away, and now we're out sailing on our way toward the Pacific Ocean. We're not going far tonight. We're just going down to Fuji, Japan, which is near Mount Fuji. You can actually see Mount Fuji from Tokyo. So just goes to show you, we're not going very far at all tonight. But the night is not over here on the ship. It's currently about 6:45, and I have reservations coming up at Cagney's Steakhouse. As I mentioned earlier, Cagney's is like the premier specialty dining restaurant on board the ship. And speaking of specialty dining, I did want to say, thanks to Norwegian's More at Sea program, when I booked my cruise, I got 2 specialty dining credits. And I talked earlier about the stateroom being sold just for a solo cruiser. Well, included with my booking was an unlimited drink package, 2 specialty dining credits. Now I'm staying in an interior room. I would have gotten more if I were staying in a balcony, and that is dependent how many nights you get of dining, or how many credits you get of dining is dependent on how many nights the cruise is and also what level of stateroom you're in. So I got 2 included here. And then I also got $50 short excursion credit. No matter how many short excursions I book, each of them will have a $50 credit. And then I also got 150 minutes free Wi-Fi. So Norwegian really hooks you up, and that's why I constantly say they're the best value for solo cruisers, because you are going to get a stateroom just like this, all to yourself, and not have to pay a solo supplement, and you're going to get the More at Sea and get all the benefits that come with that. So I'm going to take advantage of Cagney's tonight. I love Cagney's. I actually just stayed on Cagney's a couple months ago, and I sailed Norwegian Aqua. Speaking of which, that's the newest ship from Norwegian, and I just realized earlier that Norwegian Spirit is actually the oldest ship in Norwegian's fleet. It debuted in 1998, this ship did. Like I said, it's underwent a massive refurbishment. The ship looks great now. I mean, I'm sure it did before too, but it looks really good now because they have completely updated and overhauled the ship. But originally came out in 1998. When it first came out, it was owned by another cruise line. It didn't change hands and become under Norwegian ownership until 2004. So there's a little bit of history for you on the Norwegian Spirit. But I digress. We're going to dinner, right? We're going to Cagney's. I'll show you some clips of the food when I get back, and we'll close this vlog out. So we'll catch up with later me here in just a moment. And now I am back. I just got back from dinner and the show tonight. So starting off with Cagney's. Cagney's was great. Cagney's is always a good choice on Norwegian. I really, really enjoy all the food that they have in there. But tonight I wanted to go with something a little bit different. And back up first, I started with a lobster bisque and actually forgot to take a picture of it because I was so excited about eating it that I just jumped right in. Then I also got the wedge shallot. I always love the wedge shallot. I think it's one of my favorite wedges anywhere. And I am a pretty big fan of a wedge salad, but they have one of the best at Cagney, so enjoyed that. And then for my main, I went with the surf and turf. I've never gotten this before. This is a filet mignon along with a lobster tail, and it's a $25 extra supplemental charge for the lobster, but it was really good. It was really worth it, so really glad that I tried that this time. And then for my dessert, I got the raspberry creme brulee, which was also fantastic. Then after dinner, went into the Stardust Theater for the first show of the cruise. Tonight was the Welcome Aboard show, and the Welcome Aboard show is like the taster show. It basically has elements of all of the shows that you're going to see on board your cruise, and that was good. It was nice to see what to expect over the next few days as we go into this cruise. Actually, the next 10 days, more than a few. It was nice to see some of that entertainment featured in there tonight. Really nice ship. I've really enjoyed what Norwegian has done with the Norwegian Spirit, and I can't wait to explore it more and share it more with you and my content to come from here on board the ship. And also, like I mentioned, my content that'll be coming to Norwegian's channel, so make sure you be checking over there for the content I'll put out over there. This is going to be a great cruise, so I invite you to come back. Make sure you go down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my adventure to come here in Japan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.